Hey everybody, welcome into Siren Records Monterey. It's Fresh Catch Friday. It is the triumphant return of Chastity Dunn. And
finally back.
Yeah, finally back from God knows what you were doing, but
all sorts of stuff.
maybe...
Unfortunately, I'm sick though, so not the highest energy from me, but I'm doing my best.
He's here, and he's wearing his Verb shirt, and yeah, that's a pretty good thing. And again, we'd like to give a shout out to the great Jake Pador for sitting in for Cass last week. That was like very helpful, and thank you so much, awesome. Jake. So, okay, as usual, Cass kicks us off for our picks of the week, and what did you find this week?
Okay, this week I have this new Chastity Belt album, just called Chastity Belt. This is their 4th studio album. They are a 4-piece dream pop indie rock group from Walla Walla, Washington. I've never heard of that city until now.
Really?
Seems almost like a make-believe name. But
nope.
That's a real place. And they've been doing it for a while. On the surface, they might just seem like your average indie rock sort of group with a little dreamy vibe to them, but I definitely think their chord progressions, vocals, really, really good. Definitely a cut above the rest. If you like Snail Mail and Soccer Mommy, a lot of these new indie rock kind of dreamy, hazy bands, you'll definitely like Chastity Belt, and I definitely think they're the best.
Absolutely.
Because, like I said, vocals very unique, very distinct, and the guitar work always manages to be very melancholy, very memorable, and quite beautiful as well. And I don't know what it is. There's just something about their songs. They're just a little different than all the other bands. It always just makes me feel a little more emotion than the rest. And this is pretty much the same as usual for them. Great songs, consistent all the way through. There's a few weird little experiments here and there. Last song has this crazy screechy guitar thing in the background. It's kind of cool. And there's some strings on one track too, which is also pretty cool. So check them out. It's $19.95. I'm buying it, so I get to show you the color. Translucent green.
Yay.
Very nice.
I'm a big fan of the translucent. Cass likes it more opaque, but I am a big fan of the translucent stuff. What label is that on, just by the by?
Hardly Art.
Oh, of course. That's one of our favorites, but your girl here is wearing a Sub Pop shirt on the back.
The Sub Pop shirt. They need to sign them from Washington.
Yeah,
Why
do
are
it.
they signing Sub Pop? God knows.
Hey, Hardly Art is still kind of
pretty
like
good.
through Sub Pop though, right?
I'm not sure, but
so
not
I think
a bad label to be on.
I think it's all kind of in the family. Okay, nice pick, Cass. Very well done. Okay, my pick for you this week is from the great Donovan Berube. This is Endlessly Won't Last Long, and this is actually through Bandcamp, but Donovan Berube is a friend of Siren Records, and he used to be in a band called Blessed Feathers, which was wonderful. They have a couple of pieces of great vinyl that we always stock, and this is his first solo debut. And this record is it's largely inspired by the work of Jack Kerouac, specifically his 1958 beat novel, The Dharma Bums. This is, it's very much like Focus Change. It's a little bit of a melancholy, kind of a lonely vibe to this album because it really chronicles him going through like a lot of heavy stuff in his life, just... The thing about Donovan Berube, I always say, this is the bravest guy I have ever met. This is the bravest man I know, absolutely. He does these amazing things where he will go cross country or through Europe on a bicycle, and I mean in a backpack. And like the guy doesn't do anything to make it easy on himself. He has so much life experience for a 27-year-old man. I'm so impressed by him. I love Donovan Berube, and I love the sound of his voice. He's got a very distinct vocal style, and he's such a, he wrote, produced, and performed everything on this record with some, help from different session people coming in to play different things. He's got some horns on this, for example, that isn't normally a thing. Like if you know Blessed Feathers stuff, it's very much acoustic. That is Donovan and his ex-wife Jacqueline Beaupre, who is also a very fine musician in her own right. But here he is stepping out and, open and putting it all out there. And if you're not bawling your head off while you listen to this by yourself with headphones on, you don't have a soul. It's that good. But anyway, right now you got to get it through Bandcamp. It's $19.95, but today it did drop digitally for $9.99 if you can't wait. And actually, we're going to be bringing some pieces of vinyl in here at Siren because we always carry Donovan's stuff. There's also a $6.99 cassette, pink cassette, but You know, I just wanted to get this like right out of the gate because if you pre-ordered, you could get the 180 gram clay colored vinyl, strictly limited to 500 with a gold foil stamped numbered. And lucky me, I got number 25 here.
Oh, you got one.
I got them. Yeah. So this is what this is, and they're calling this clay colored vinyl, but it's actually very pink. But hey, you know what? I am not complaining about pink clay at all. I'm like no problem with that.
Beautiful.
I am not mad at pink clay. So anyway. Please check him out. He is just like such a great artist, and like I say, just has such rich life experience to draw from that it's so relatable, and you will love this. And so, like I said, if you can't wait, go ahead and get the digital for $9.99. This also has a little 12 by 12 poster that comes in it as well. Let me just show you that really quick. And it's got this fetching picture of Donovan on this side and then a few snapshots from his travels. So yeah, you can kind of check him out there and see that. But anyway, I so recommend it. I also really recommend old Blessed Feathers catalog because it's all so great. So anyway, yes, there you go. And we're very happy for his success, and hopefully he'll be swinging through. Right now I think he's on tour in like Wisconsin and maybe doing a thing in Chicago. Not California yet, but I really hope. You know, California here, he did a stint working at Henry Miller Library. He was around in Big Sur, like making great music and putting on shows, and that's where we met him. We loved him so much, and we kind of claim him as ours here in California, even though he's like a Wisconsin guy. But anyway, much luck to Donovan. You guys will do yourself a favor. Check him out. You can go on Bandcamp and even listen to one of the singles there. You can see what I mean, how he's got that very distinctive vocal style that I love so much.
I haven't heard that yet. I'll listen to that after
Fabulous.
this.
Fabulous. Okay, you have a couple of other things you wanted to showcase this week?
Yes. First, talk about this Alex G album. I was really excited to talk about this last week, but I was out of town. But also, it didn't arrive Friday anyway, I think. It was a little late, so. But it's out. It's here. This is Alex G's, like, 10th, 11th studio album. He's got a lot. But even though it's very late in his career, this is definitely his best album yet. Alex G, he's a singer-songwriter from Pennsylvania. He started off on Bandcamp, much like Will Toledo from Car Seat Headrest. Gained, like, a big following on there, self-releasing his music. He does it all himself. He has this friend of his, I can't remember her name, she usually does background vocals on a lot of his songs. She's on here too. And a lot of fans, myself included, knew this was going to be a pretty different album from him when we heard the first single, Gretel, which I've listened to so many times this year. And then he kept dropping one single after the other, Hope, and then Southern Sky. Every single was incredible. Now the album's out, and every song on here is incredible. Definitely some influence from Elliott Smith, a lot of people say, in his whole discography. But this one's a little more psychedelic than he usually goes. And his production, of course, as the years go by, has gotten better, as any artist would, 10 years into their career. But the production techniques on here is very interesting. The first song, very weird song to open the album out with, is like this wall of noise with so many layers of instruments and vocals. It's a little overwhelming to start off an album, but it's really interesting. And but after that, just one great song after the next, and I'm really liking it. Definitely the song Hope, probably my favorite song of the year. Beautiful song, and check him out live if you can. He just did a full album performance at Amoeba in LA last week on Friday. Wish I could have seen that. Sounds pretty cool. And yeah, check him out. He's really killing it. And this vinyl is absolutely beautiful.
Yep, that's pretty nice.
Purple marble.
Did you say the price on that yet?
I did not. $20.95 for this one.
Okay.
Please check Alex G out. And if you haven't heard of him, listen to all his back catalog. All of his stuff's really good. So, there you go.
Okay. What else you got?
Next, I have what we are listening to right now in the background, Brittany Howard.
The great Brittany Howard, yes.
Jamie, I'm not sure. I think Jaime, I'm not sure. That's the name of the album. Brittany Howard, of course, the legendary singer from Alabama Shakes. She's decided to do her own solo thing for the time being. They're not broken up, from what I understand. She's just doing her own thing for a bit. And I'm glad she is, because I don't know, when you're in a band, you can't always do exactly what you want to do. There's 4 different people inputting their ideas in the mix, but she wanted to do it all herself. And from that, you have a very experimental, psychedelic, and bold soul funk album here. And her voice, incredible as ever. It's going to be really good if you've listened to any Alabama Shakes song. But the instrumentals on here are pretty weird. Some psychedelic soul influence, some weird hip hop beats in here as well, some jazz piano from Robert Glasper. And she wrote all the songs on here, and she has the bass player from Alabama Shakes on here as well. She has a couple other session musicians. But it's just all around great record from her. I wasn't expecting too much, just because I'm a huge Alabama Shakes fan. I couldn't see it living up to that stuff, but she maybe even has surpassed those 2 albums somehow. And
well, it's different, right? It's just different.
It is different.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not surpassed it, but it's definitely does not disappoint by any means, and I'm glad she's put this album out. And it's just really, really good. If you like her, if you haven't heard her at all, please check her out.
What's the single? Stay High? Is that the one we've been to? Oh, it's such a great tune.
Really,
great.
really good song.
And it's on one of my favorite labels, ATO.
Oh, yeah.
Yay,
Me
ATO.
Too. And we got 2 versions here, both pretty cool. The regular edition is on Starburst color vinyl. Sounds pretty cool. It's $22.95, and then we have a deluxe edition on black, white, marble vinyl.
What makes that deluxe? Do you know?
It doesn't say. It does say there's animated zootrope labels. I don't know what that means, but maybe that's the thing where the record spins and there's a little image or something.
Yeah, like that Animal Collective thing from before.
Yeah,
I don't know. Okay.
So something like that, and the cover itself kind of has a weird foil sheen to it.
Yes,
so.
Kind of a holographic look to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
And this one's $24.95.
Okay. I think you go with that
That's
one.
it for me.
Okay, I also wanted to let you know that there's a new Mudhoney EP. This is Morning in America. This is on Sub Pop. This is the legendary Seattle band Mudhoney, and they're back with this 7-song EP that is a fired up garage punk belter. You guys are going to love this if you are a Mudhoney fan like I am. The songs were recorded during the sessions for Mudhoney's 2018 album called Digital Garbage, and they include alternate versions of that album's single Kill Yourself Live, as well as 2 tracks previously only found on sold out 7 inches that they had put out. And it also includes a version of One Bad Actor, a new version of that. So this is an indie exclusive edition, means it's pressed on white vinyl marbled with black, plus you get an MP3 download. It's $15.95, and it is great. The great Mark Arm, who we adore.
Yes.
Okay. Then the other thing I wanted to let you know about is Kane, and this is Cause and Effect. It's on Island, and this is their 5th studio album by this English alternative rock band, Kane. It's their first full-length album following their hiatus from early 2014 to late 2018. They've kind of come from this. People have an idea about them as being these kind of privileged public school boys from what is it, East Sussex? Yeah. So this is their singer, and gosh, his name is escaping me at the moment, and I feel bad about that. He's got like one of those very big voices, and they've kind of it's a beautiful voice, but it lends itself to that very like anthem type singing. It's very big and it's very out there. They kind of like people like kind of threw them in the same pot with Coldplay for a while, but I think these guys are better because this album opens up with some of those anthemic pop, like I would say pop alternative, not just indie rock, you know what I mean? Which I kind of prefer the more indie side of things, but they're kind of, the guy's voice is just made for that, and it's just how it goes.
Stadium ready.
I thought on the side 2 though, it kind of went into a much more of a what I like of Kane, just like kind of grid songwriting, and this is that single, that Brittany Howard single.
Yeah.
It's so good. I know it's hard to concentrate while that's on. But anyway, this is not a game-changing comeback for them by any means. It's a really satisfying return to form, and you're going to be happy. Their singer had to enforce that hiatus because of some substance abuse problems, and he did come out with a solo record that was very confessional. But anyway, I'm just glad that Kane's back together. I think that's kind of where they're at their best. This is $24.95, and check them out. Okay. Now we'll give you some other things. Of course, we're still having these distribution problems like crazy. For example, new Liam Gallagher was out today, and we did listen to it.
It's actually pretty good.
It was actually very catchy, and I thought, just personally, that the first record, I liked it, but it was like not as Liam as this one. It's more authentic. Didn't you think that this one seemed to come off that way?
The best post-Oasis thing I've heard so far.
Yeah, but I mean, I liked that first solo record of his, didn't you?
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
good.
but I felt like this one just came off a little more authentic.
Yeah, this one's
But that's not in our pile today because we're still waiting, Leah.
I know,
So,
and also Vivian Girls was supposed to be out today. I was excited for that.
so it'll roll in probably a little later, but again, still death to the majors. Okay. First up, let's go with this Capstan Restless Heart LP 1995. Okay.
Alright, cool.
Now we got McKinley Dixon, Anansi. Anansi backed with, it's a 7-inch, oh sorry, okay, but that's another one. All right, now this is Echo Collective, Johan Johansson, 2 LPs for $33.95. You can't really see that cover. You know what, it was funny. Well, it's kind of a little bit of like a charcoal dust splatter. When this came in out of the box, I kept going, because it looks really real, like dust on there, right? Doesn't it? Okay. Ecodom with a digital download, $24.95. Okay. Now we've got Samantha Fishkiller Be Kind. This is $19.95. That's a really great cover, isn't it?
It's a good name too. I like
Yeah.
what she's doing there. I don't know
That's
who she
pretty good.
is. but-
What label is that on? Rounder. Okay.
Cool guitar too.
Okay. Now we've got Ari Lennox Shea Butter Baby. This is $19.95.
That's cover too.
Okay, go, yeah. Now we've got No One Knows What the Dead Think, and it's like self-titled, okay? And this is a colored $22.95. Any idea what color?
Doesn't say.
Shoot, I hate that. Okay. No, Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie, Bird and Diz, this is $22.95. Is that one of those Blue Note reissues, or is it, can we tell? No, it's Verve, on Verve, okay. All right, and now Robbie Robertson Cinematic, 2 LPs for $27.95. I think this is this guy's first work in like 13 years or something. Turn that around, I bet you that sticker will say, oh, 8 years, I'm sorry, I thought it was much longer than that. But anyway, it's his, he's been away for a long time, and of course he was like, in the band, and also had several, a couple of singles with big solo success too. But anyway.
The band?
Yeah, the band. The Last Waltz, the band, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from there.
That was a pretty modern looking cover. I like that.
Okay. Now, can I say this without butchering it? Rodrigo y Gabriela.
Perfect.
Live in Japan. Red vinyl, $24.95.
This is a great group too. If you've never heard of these two, they are absolutely mental. Like guitar, percussive sort of group. They're like
Getting attacked.
yeah, they kind of do this weird thing where they kind of tap on their acoustic guitars and play it to make like almost like drums or whatnot. And they sing too. They're really cool. Please listen to them if you've never heard of them.
Oh boy, now we got Slash featuring Miles Kennedy, Living the Dream Tour. This is 3 LPs for $44.95.
That's Toto.
Oops.
Whoops, I got a little too eager there.
I guess you just don't know your alphabet, do you? Okay. So anyway, 3 LPs, you're fired. $44.95, okay? If you feel like getting some, this is like it says during a sold out UK tour in 2019. Well, now I'm reading it to them and you're flipping the album to the other side.
Whoops.
The greatest guitarist of all time was recorded at the legendary Hammersmith Apollo in London. Okay.
One of the greatest guitarists of all time.
I might take a little bit of umbrage with that, don't you?
That's
Okay.
a stretch.
But anyway, $44.95 if you want to hear what that's all about, okay?
Yep, and Miles Kennedy was in, or I think he still is in the band Alter Bridge. I guess he's kind of filling in for Axl in Slash's recent endeavors.
So he's a singer?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's pretty good too. I mean, much better than Axl, but that's not very hard. So.
Okay. Wow, Cass, blazing. Okay, Toto, 40 tours around the sun. This is on blue orange vinyl. Also 3 LPs, $45.95. You have anything to say about that?
Well, Toto, excellent group. Of course, Africa's seen a bit of a revamp thanks to Weezer. Now everybody's listening to Africa. It's a great song. But they have a lot of hits besides Africa. So, and they just put out a greatest hits called 40 Years Around the Sun or something. 40 Trips Around the Sun. Oh. Which is actually kind of a unique way of saying 40 years, because one trip around the sun is a year. So. No one's ever done that, though, I guess. But I like that name.
What do you mean nobody's ever done that? Everybody does it for their birthday.
No, like no one's ever named their album, like referred to a year as a trip around the sun.
Okay.
It seems very basic, but Toto ahead of the curve with that very
I don't know. Well, they're all, they're basically a band that came together of a bunch of session musicians, so they're all very, accomplished. They all know what they're doing, but I don't know if I can get on board with you saying they're like, all that great. I don't know. I never got into Africa and Rosanna and those kind of, I thought that was pretty cheeseball. I'm sorry. Kind of prefer early Toto, like Hold the Line. Wasn't that them or something like that?
Yeah.
That is a good song. Track. But I can do without those other kind of schlocky things, but
it's okay. To each their own.
Yes, exactly. All right. Now let's wind it up with various. Riley Walker presents an imaginational anthem, IX. What is that? Is that 9 or is that 11? I think it's 9, right? 9. 1995. Okay, so there's also some soundtracks that are out this week. There's a Shaggy LP out this week. I'm going to post this list down below so you can see, even if we don't have it in hand to show you, you can see a little bit about what came in this week. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell down below that'll let you know whenever we do an upload. It'll alert you via email. Give us a thumbs up so that we have a chance to appear in somebody else's sidebar and grow our little channel. We would love that so much. Other than that, this weekend is, I don't know that there's anything really unusual happening. Where were you?
I went to Oregon and Seattle. Oregon, not too notable. Seattle, though, I've never been there before. That was really, really cool. I was loving the vibe. The people there, very friendly, very nice. The town was pretty clean, pretty open, very spacious, and the record stores there were incredible.
Yeah.
Although I'm a metalhead, so I was looking for metal stuff, and I guess Portland just didn't have much metal, but I went to Seattle and I found this really cool record store called Zion's Gate, and they were just filled with metal stuff, so
okay,
that was awesome. And then we were just walking downtown. We see there's like a line of people for some show, and it was the Melvins, although we didn't go, but just some random day, there was already some huge band playing, so Seattle, definitely a hip place. I'm definitely thinking about going there again.
Okay.
Maybe going there permanently, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I know what you're saying. So you're gonna ditch me someday. I know it. I know it's coming. All right. Anyway, welcome back. Nice to see you again. Nice to have you back. And all right, you guys. So we will see you next time. Same time, same place. And thanks for watching.
Thank you very much. And hopefully next week we'll have some more stuff for you.
We live in hope. Bye.